The Hypnotic Hiker presents nature, the drug of choice. Hypnotic trips, if you will, virtual hiking experiences, mind trips that offer a shift in perspective. Basically, these are a series of guided journeys that take you back to your true self. In these episodes, you'll discover the true power of your unconscious mind and how to change old, outdated programs from birth that have kept you stuck. You'll enjoy some virtual hikes, some hypnosis, divine interventions. You'll learn walking meditations. By the way, I've been a clinical hypnotherapist since 2002. We'll explore the importance of staying connected or reconnecting to your wild child, to be in touch with our primitive minds, our instincts. We'll talk about how the modern world has tried to change us into cogs of a machine. I'll dive into mass hypnosis and the concept of transhumanism. We'll even explore regenerative ranching and agriculture. The most important discovery you'll have is how to lose your shadow self and how to love yourself again, standing on your own 2 feet and thinking from your heart mind and speaking with your true voice. I'm Valerie, the Hypnotic Hiker. So are you ready for a new relationship with nature and yourself? Come along with me. So this is a series, so if you're just now tuning in, then go back to episode 1 because you're learning things along the way. You'll get something out of this one, but I do encourage you to go back and listen to the whole series if possible. So we're kind of coming off the trail today to talk about wild children. This episode is called Be That Wild Child. I'm not talking about the ones in the grocery store that you want to turn away from, but rather the cool kind with long hair and bare feet that love nature and they have this calm demeanor about them. You know, the ones that are allowed to pee outside. So what does the term wild child conjure up in your mind? Well, when my grandson, who was 4 at the time, heard me say that I was wild, he looked worried and told me that it would mean that I'd have to wear my shirt like this, and he demonstrated by pulling one arm out of his t-shirt for a ripped and tattered look. Then he took his hands and mussed his hair and made a desperate facial expression. To reassure him, I explained my idea of being wild. 2 years later, my son had him out on their property in East Texas, and Levi was really selling the idea to his dad that he wanted to live on that land and be wild like Gaia. We could gather rainwater and we could grow food. Gaia's my grandmother name, by the way. So is it really wild or natural, primitive, instinctive? Over the millennial, domesticated humans eliminated or tried to change primitive and indigenous cultures because they couldn't believe they lived like that. Or whatever the reason, maybe they just wanted access to their forests and farmland or water. So at the end of the show, I'll guide you through imagery that takes you on a trip back to childhood so you can reconnect to that wild child and be free, but with the wisdom of the adult that you are. My son and I took a trip to the Belize jungle in around 2009. It was Christmas Day, and we were on a van headed for a really incredible cave exploration. There was a wealthy family from Canada on this tour. I know they were because they talked about how they'd spent $20,000 so far on their vacation. I think we'd spent about $3,000. Anyway, we passed neighborhoods of homes that were not constructed too well. I guess they're called lean-tos, maybe? But they were all painted really cheery colors. I remember feeling quite content driving through and noticing how they lived and marveled at how simple it was. The Belizean kids are outside playing with a large plastic ball. And the woman on the van with us commented how sad it was that on Christmas Day they only had a ball to play with. What an interesting POV, point of view. Maybe they don't celebrate Christmas here. Or maybe Santa hasn't come yet, I wondered silently. But I said out loud, they look pretty happy. Why are some humans so obsessed with changing other humans? And talking about changing humans, I'm in a class on transhumanism, and the instructor showed us an executive order from September the 12th of 2022, where the government is pledging R&D funds to the biotech industry to enable it to write circuitry for cells and predictably program biology in the same way in which we write software and computer programs. I personally do not think this is a good idea. It will be a trial and error, and humans will suffer the mistakes. That hits really close to home. So it's really time to reconnect to our true selves and to develop our instincts and not allow artificial intelligence to do this for us. It's time to get grounded and hold on to the natural world. But I'm not worried, really. My opinion is that science or AI will never be able to do what nature does because, like art and gardening, it's very subjective and creative. Trying to make the earth fertile over time has had the opposite effect, part of the global warming problem. So more episodes about that when I talk about regenerative ranching, and one on free-range humans. Anyway, the bottom line is that nature is subjective and so is human life. Controlling nature and humans leads to an imbalance of sickness in the body and the soil. We are tipping now in that direction, and the technocrats think they can solve the problem with science and technology, digital control. This will worsen the situation and only create more anxiety and then more illness. But I'm really worried that humans will be the lab rats in the process of this experimentation. So when you think about being real, your real self, think way back when you were a child, the truth of you, your light, your curious side, your creativity, your non-dualistic mind, pure freedom. It is vital to human life that our children stay connected to the natural world. So, how to be a real kid again? And be tuned into those wonderful natural instincts with a youthful and optimistic mindset? You're as young as you feel, and I Feel 8 was a t-shirt I used to wear to the gym when I was in my 40s. It's time to gain control, or take back control, over your unconscious mind. As promised, I'm going to do a hypnotic journey back to your happy, carefree child, but first, a word from our sponsor. Podcast is sponsored in part by Simply Organic Soap, maker of plant-based organic soaps, lotion bars, salts, and other bath products infused with essential oils to care for your skin and keep you connected with nature. Take a bath on the wild side with the Simply Hypnotic Soap, inspired by me, the Hypnotic Hiker. You can order this soap and all their other products online at simplyorganicsoap.com and follow them on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with their latest products. By the way, those products are made in Texas. Now we want to go back in time to a time when you were happy and carefree, like a little wild child. To do that, we're just going to have you close your eyes as long as you're not driving and take some series of breaths where you're just breathing in deeply and exhaling completely. And any place you feel tension or tightness, you can just breathe into that area with the intention of letting that go. Noises from outside of the room are unimportant and easily ignored. Nothing disturbs you. You are gaining power over the unconscious part of your mind, journeying back to memories of being happy and carefree. And it doesn't matter whether you see them or even know that you're experiencing them. Some of us keep those childhood memories tucked away. But these suggestions, and through your dream state and through the next several days and weeks, you will begin to gently, easily, naturally, and wonderfully reconnect with a happy, carefree child, the one with that can-do spirit. Take some more breaths, breathing in relaxation, exhaling stress and strain, breathing in calmness, focus, exhaling any worries and concerns. And then another deep, deep breath, just breathing in peacefulness and light and exhaling anything else you no longer need. Counting from 5 down to 1 with each count. Allow yourself to drift down deeper and deeper into the unconscious memories, connecting to that happy, carefree child. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What might it be like to follow the happy, carefree child over the hills, to roll down a grassy hill, to witness the enthusiasm of a no tree too tall to climb, to sense the discovery, the adventure of discovery. What's beyond the field behind the backyard? There's a creek, and the thrill of scooping up creek water with its yucky treasures. To notice the determination of the happy, carefree child when the depths of the big dirt hole is finally reached. To enjoy the feeling of racing like the wind, all up and down and all around. To follow the boundless laughter of this child, to feel delight from the whole world of wonder. To flop back on the grass and watch the kingdoms of clouds in the sky, where battles are fought and won, where pirates flee on their galleons across the seas, where giant dragons are captured, where hearts become united on the castle steps. And then to follow the happy, carefree child on the way back, still more, a friend to twirl with, faster and faster and faster, a bike ride with no hands down the steepest hill, a neighbor's barn to steal away for some haystack jumping, and after this day of conquering, a tail-wagging greeting brings a bone for a playful tussle back in the home yard, and finally it means a sweet head on the pillow, where more stories are lived out, dreaming peacefully all through the night. And early the next day, our happy, carefree child brightly awakens to begin again. And now coming back from each count up to 5, back to an alert, aware state of mind, in the now. 1, 2, all these ideas remain with you. 3, 4, feeling lighter, happier, more carefree. And 5, eyes are open, wide awake, and alert.